Hey, Moses Lake Christian Church, it is the week of January the 24th, and I wanted to just do a little bit of a reminder about the sermon this past Sunday. The sermon was about intentional awareness, and that joyfulness comes from intentional awareness of God's presence, and it's about perspective. Remember that we brought back the Dallas Willard quote that the ultimate human freedom is what we decide to allow or require our minds to dwell on. So much of what our joyfulness in 2022 will be rooted in what we allow or require our minds to dwell on. So what are we dwelling on? And what's our perspective? I had a couple of slides in my sermon. The first one was a slide with the cell phone and my F-150. And from that perspective, the cell phone looks much bigger than the F-150. Now we know that a cell phone is not bigger than an F-150. And so then we had another slide that showed proper perspective of a cell phone and F-150. If we think about the cell phone as the obstacles or the challenges, the problems that we're facing, and we think about the F-150 as God, that's a proper perspective, that God's always bigger. And so we want to be attentive to our awareness of God in the world. And there are multiple ways that we can do that. Really 4 specific things that we talked about on Sunday. Our prayer life, both corporate and personal. What can we do in 2022 to increase our prayerfulness? And if you need some help with that, invite us, ask us, and we'll help you find some resources for that. What about your thankfulness in 2022? Right? Paul says in Philippians 4 that don't be anxious about anything, but in everything, with prayer and supplication and thanksgiving, make your requests known to God. So our thankfulness really impacts our joyfulness. So we're remembering to be thankful for the things that God is doing and for what we see Him doing in the world. And then worship, both corporate and personal. What are you going to do in 2022 with corporate and personal worship? I challenge you to make weekly worship a part of your routine, whether you need to do it virtually or you're here in person. I would just ask you to consider committing to that, because it brings you back and again refocuses your mind on proper perspective. And then encouraging each other. How are you encouraging others, and how are you being encouraged? Who are the people in 2022 that you'll spend time with? My hope is that our joyfulness will increase in the midst of our circumstances, that we know that joy is not rooted in circumstances, but a proper perspective makes a huge difference. So hopefully that's helpful, and hope you have a great week. Take care.